I was still a thief when I met Anil. He met Anil and he was only 15. And I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. He says that even though my age was 15, but then still I was very successful and experienced person in terms of being a thief. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. Anil was just an ordinary guy, and it was his work like go to people and then talk to them, be friendly with them, and then commit looting over them. Just cheat these people and then take money. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. And he thought that this guy is all okay because he's a very sober person. And he met him there, this author met him there in one of the wrestling matches. And then he sees that this person is very simple, sober. He's a nice, vulnerable person. He can be played tricks over and an easy person to approach it for the purpose of course, stealing and all that. I hadn't had much luck of late, and though thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence, and he thought that it will be easy to get into his confidence, and that will be easier for him to further go and take him into his confidence and then do all the crime. So he started his conversation with this. You look a bit of wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. And he says, this thief says that I begin praising people. And then when I praise people, I just, use flattery as one of my weapons that makes people friendly. And then people start talking. Everybody likes, of course, if somebody praises them. So he starts with praising people. So here he goes to Anil and he says, you look like a wrestler yourself. So do you, he replied. And then Anil also said that even you look like a wrestler. Now this boy, the thief, is offended by this comment because he's very skinny, very thin fellow, which put me off for a moment, and he feels little off, upset, because at that time I was rather thin. Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle a bit, but then he did not feel offended because he had to continue talking and be friends and then go to his house and steal money. So that's why he said, yeah, there was a time when I used to be wrestling. I do wrestling still even. What's your name? Now Anil, the person whom he is approaching for stealing purpose, is asking this boy, the thief, what's your name? And then he gives a fake name. Hari Singh. I lied. I took a new name every month that kept me ahead of the police and my former employers. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers and who were grunting, lifting, and throwing each other about. And then after knowing names and all that general communication, they started talking about this fellow Anil, started talking about the wrestlers and the way they are just putting tricks for winning the game. And then they were just talking normally. I did not have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. Hello again, he said. And then he did not have much to speak, so he again went here and there. And then again he met Anil at the same place after some time, and then he said hello again. I gave him my most appealing smile, and he smiled nicely. I want to work for you. And then he started. First thing he asked was, like, you look like a wrestler and all that. And now the second question he says is like, can I work for you? Do you have some work for me? Yeah, I said, but I can't pay you. I thought that over for a minute. And then the Sanil fellow said, I can give you work, but then I have no money to pay. Perhaps I misjudged my man. He thought that I am actually talking to a wrong person. He has no money. What will I do going to such a place, such a person's house who has no money? What will I steal there, he thinks. I asked, can you feed me? Can you cook? Said, if you can cook, I can feed you. I can cook, I lied again. And then he told a lie that, yeah, I can cook. You just take me to your home. Because his purpose was just to go, enter his house and just take money, steal. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. Anil said that no problem, Hari Singh. I can feed you, but you have to cook for me. That also is telling lie. This fellow Hari Singh, he did not know. He's just a boy. He does not know how to cook and all that. All he was interested was in stealing. He took me to his room over Jamna's sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to stray dog and then told me to be off. Then they took went together to his house, and then Anil was very upset that night because this boy cooked very horrible food, which ultimately was to be given to the dogs, stray dogs, and then they both slept. But I just hung around, smiling in my most appealing way. He could not help, and he could not help laughing, and he laughed a lot that you were telling that you can cook food. Is this what you cooked? Later, he patted me on the head and said, never mind, he would teach me how to cook. He said, don't worry, I'll teach you how to cook. So here we see that Anil is a very gentle fellow. He had brought a stranger home, and he is still conditionally he brought that you have to cook for me. Even though this boy did not cook well, still he did not, shoo him away of his house and say that, okay, I will not keep you anymore. He behaved in a very nice manner, just in a very human, that is what we see, that it is a very humane way, the way we behave with kindness and compassion. He said, don't worry, I will teach you how to cook, and I will also teach you how to read and write. He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. Basic mathematics and writing he will teach. Anil is here very kind. He thought that he's just a small boy. He does not have anybody to be with, and then he's a stray person roaming here and there. It's better I keep this boy at my place and I teach him some arithmetics as well as some writing so that he can do well in his life. I was grateful. Be careful with the spelling of the word grateful because it sounds like great. So most of the time children write it G-R-E-A-T, but then it is grateful, which means full of thankfulness. When you have gratitude towards somebody, that is where you are thankful, grateful. I was grateful. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. And then this boy is happy. Actually, he came here to steal money, but then he got this offer. He is little tempted, enticing offer. He thinks that if I get to write, learn reading and all that, it can change my life. It was quite pleasant working for Anil, and he was happy working for Anil. I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying the day's supply, usually making profit of about ₹1 a day, and then he would be purchasing things for him every day and just make money out of it. He can usually make a profit. He will tell that this thing I bought actually in 10 rupees, it would actually be of 9 rupees, and then he will be making a profit of 1 rupee every day. Not, it's just a fictitious figure that I gave, but then every day he would just be making a profit of 1 rupee without telling Anil. I think Anil knew I made a little money this way, but it did not seem to mind. Anil was a very simple fellow. He could know that this boy must be, taking 1 rupee extra, but then he did not even mind. Anil made money by fits and starts. Fits and starts means gradually by this work or that work, not by particularly one work, but steadily he earned money. He would borrow 1 week, lend the next. He kept worrying about his next check, but as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. So Anil is a very casual guy. He just waits for money and then he gets money, he celebrates, and maybe he's not happy sometimes, but he doesn't, react too much. It's like simply he's a very self-content man. It seems he wrote for magazines, and now this fellow thief who has entered his house and staying with him, but bringing things for him, making 1 rupee profit each day. Now he could make out that this guy Anil is basically a writer. He's writing for the magazines. A queer way to make a living. Queer means strange. Strange way, because he never knew that people, even writers, can earn money. So he says it's a queer way of making living. One evening, he came home with a small bundle of notes. One evening, this fellow Anil came with little money in his pocket, and then he toasted there in the bedside, saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. At night, I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. So he tucked the money, kept the money under the mattress. I had been working for Anil for almost a month. It had been a month. Now this boy, Hari Singh, so-called, has got the chance to steal money, because first time he saw big amount of money which Anil casually kept under mattresses. Apart from cheating on shopping, I had done no other thing as a line of my work. He did no other harm to Anil except just making a profit of 1 rupee each day. But then he says, accept that I did not do any kind of wrong thing to Anil. I had opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to the door and I could come and go as I please. He was the most trusting person I had ever met. He says that this guy is very simple. I could easily cheat him. But the problem is he is so much full of trust. He would give me the key of the room. I can come anytime in his absence also. And I could easily cheat. But that he did not, his conscience did not allow, because Anil is a very simple person. So this here you see, sometimes when you become simple, no, even people who think of harming you also, come to a little question. Oh, he's such a simple guy. Should I harm him? And that is why it was so difficult to rob him. It is easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed, but it is difficult to rob a careless man because the careless man will not even realize that he has been robbed, and the robber will lose all charm and, just cheating upon somebody. Sometimes he doesn't even notice he has been robbed, and that takes all the pleasure out of the work. Well, it's fine. It's time I did some real work. I told myself I'm out of practice, and if I don't take the money, he will only waste it on his friends. After all, he doesn't pay me. And then, he made his mind. His conscience was telling him that don't steal this fellow's money. He's a simple fellow. He's just trusting you too much, giving you his house key also. But then still, Hari Singh had factors. He just assured himself, no, I will cheat. I will steal because he's not paying me. I'm doing work for him. It's been a month. He should have been giving me a salary. He did not pay a single penny to me. It's good that I will, cheat. I will take my share. And then, anyways, if I don't take that money, he will waste it because he's a very casual guy. He will waste that money on his friends. So it's better I steal that money. This is what Hari Singh thought. A beam of Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. It's night now, they both slept. But this guy had a trick that he was waiting that Anil should fall asleep sound, and then he will take money and run away from that house. This is a very crucial time. I sat up on the floor considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. My hands slid under the mattress. So now he's looking at Anil's face and he thinks that how clean his face is, like a soul. And then he sees that his own face is so, full of scars and all that. But then he just took money. When I found the notes, I drew them out without a sound. Anil sighed in sleep and turned on his side towards me. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. And then he quickly taking the money when he thought that Anil might wake up. So he quickly ran out of that room. So he thought that he should be caught. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. And he thought he was startled. He was surprised, shocked that Anil will wake up and I will be caught. So he quickly left that place. And you know that he is waiting for the Lucknow Express. He is planning that he will steal money and go. When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist. He kept the money here, held there by the string of my pajamas. I slowed down to walk and counted the notes, 600 rupees and 50 rupees notes, and altogether these notes were 600 rupees, a handsome, nice amount. I could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two. For 15 days, he can have a lavish life with 600 rupees in those days. He's so happy that he has stolen that big, handsome amount. When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. He did not, such people, the thieves, and they never believe in purchasing tickets. So he did not even stop at the ticket office. And then he's writing also, I'd never bought a ticket in my life. Ticket means railway ticket. But dashed straight to the platform, and he went to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out and the Lucknow Express was just leaving the station. He could simply catch the train, but something stopped him. Voice of conscience, stuck him. Just he's thinking, is it good that I am stealing that fellow's money? The train had still to pick up speed and I should have been able to jump into one of the compartments, but I hesitated. For some reason, I can't explain. He says, there was some hesitation in my mind and I don't know why. And I lost the chance to get away. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform and there was nobody on the platform. He was the only one and he is wondering why could he not catch the train because his conscience is hitting him hard. He's getting reminders, guilt. I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. I had no idea. Deserted means empty. There was nobody on the platform. It's not to do with deserts. Deserted means a place which is vacant. There are no people around. Such places are called as deserted people. Peopleless places are called as deserted places. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help. And I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station, and he did not want to stay at the station, so he thought he should go back to Anil. The only person I knew really was the man I had dropped. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. Now he's telling, when he's walking back to Anil's house from the station, he is just contemplating, he's thinking that what kind of expressions people have when they get looted or when they are cheated upon. Some people feel sad, some people feel extremely sad and all that. The greedy man showed fear, the rich man showed anger, the poor man showed acceptance, but I knew Anil's face when he discovered the theft. He would only show a touch of sadness, that not for the loss of money but for the loss of trust. And he could make out that Anil will not feel sorry for the money, the loss of money. He will feel sorry that I trusted that person and he broke my trust. This is what he's thinking, the thief. Remember when he's going back from the platform, he could have easily left that place, but then his heart stopped him. It is because of Anil's goodness. So that's what the theme was when I introduced that chapter to you, that essential goodness can change even the criminals also. I found myself in the Maidan and sat down on a bench. The night was chilly. It was a very cold night. It was early November and a little drizzle. It was drizzling. It was raining slightly, added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily, and then after slight rain, it became heavy downpour. My shirt and pajamas stuck to my skin because they got wet, and cold wind blew the rain across my face. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower, and then he sat under the clock tower. Clock tower is a place where in the market there are big towers and then there are clocks. They signal the time with the sound. The clock showed midnight. I felt for notes, and then he tried to search for the notes because the bundle of the money had now become wet because of the rain. They were damp from the rain. Damp means became wet. Anil's money. In the morning, he would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema, but now I had it all. He thinks that had I not stolen that money early in the morning, Anil would have himself given me 2-3 rupees and would have said, enjoy, today I have this much money, so you go to cinema. I could not cook his meal, run to the bazaar, learn to write sentences anymore. And he's now thinking, I'm losing so much. Although I'm getting this 600 rupees, but I am suffering a big loss. Number one, I am breaking somebody's trust. Number two, I will never be able to learn sentences, knowledge, because Anil had promised him that he will be teaching him basic maths and learning. I had forgotten about them in excitement of the theft. Whole sentence, I knew I could one day bring me more than a few hundred rupees. Today I'm just stealing 600 rupees, but if I stay here, be faithful to this man, he will teach me, and then I can make a bigger amount of money and good living by that experience. So he decided against stealing, and he goes back to Anil's house. It was simple matter to steal, and sometimes just as simple to be caught. But to be a really big man, a clever and respected man was something else. I should go back to Anil, I told myself. Now he decides that he will go back to Anil. I told myself, if only to learn to read and write. I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, for it is much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. When you steal money, it's easy, you can steal with smartness. But when you return that money and if you're caught, then you feel so ashamed and, it's a very embarrassing situation. That is why he says, I just wanted not to be detected. He should not catch me and I should safely keep his money like that. He should not even come to know that I stole money. I opened the door quietly, then stood in the doorway in clouded moonlight. Anil was still asleep. Anil was still sleeping. I crept to the head of the bed, like in this picture you can see, creeping to the head of the bed and kept the money again under the mattress. I crept to the head of the bed and my hand came up with notes. I felt his breath on my hand and he just kept the money. I remained still for a minute and he just sat quietly for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of the mattress and slipped under it with the notes. I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea, and the next morning he slept just keeping the money under, and Anil woke up and he made tea for him as well as for this boy, Hari Singh. He stretched out his hand towards me and then he said, "Take tea." And there was a 50 rupee note also. 50 rupee note. He gave him money and said, "I'm sorry, I've not been giving you money, but from today I've earned money. I will start giving you salary also." I thought I had been discovered. This boy thought that he's giving me money. Anil is giving me money because he has seen me at night. I made some money yesterday, but Anil very simply said, "Don't worry, I just made some profit yesterday, just sold one book." He explained, "Now you will be paid regularly." My spirits rose and he told that I will be paying you from today. So what a beauty this chapter has. Now, even though Anil, don't you think that Anil could not have discovered? But still, Anil kept his goodness. He did not scold that boy. He realized his mistake. Even here also he sees that this boy has become thief because of me. Anil thinks that I did not pay him. That is why he went compelled to be stealing. So he just, corrected himself and told that from today I'll be giving you money. But when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. "Today we will start writing sentences." And he also told him that we will write sentences from today. He said he knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. This boy knows, Hari Singh, that Anil has come to know that I took that money, but still he did not say anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, and the smile came by itself, without any effort. And this was not a fake smile like earlier. It was a smile of admiration. It was a smile of acknowledgement. It was a smile of thankfulness. It was a smile of gratitude. And here, this thief, so-called named Hari Singh, has completely transformed. And he has a better new life to start on. So here this story now comes to an end. My dear viewers, I am sure you must have enjoyed this wonderful experience. Thank you so much.